Hey, what's going on there, guys? I'm back here today with another Magic the Gathering video for you. Today we're going to be talking about the cube format of play. So we're going to talk about it, we're going to talk about what it is, and I'm going to share with you guys all of the cards that I have in my cube and some of the things that I chose and ultimately what we like to play at our shop for cube drafting. It'll also give you a good idea of like a starting point with if you want to go ahead and start building your own cube and you need some ideas for cards. You can use all the cards that I have in here as a reference or as just like a starting point or something like that. But the first and foremost thing is, what is a cube, or what is the cube format? I get asked this by a lot of players, more so newer players than anything else. I want to say that players that haven't been playing for numerous years generally won't know what a cube is. So if you do know what a cube is and you're like a newer player, then good for you. It's really nice to know about the variety of different formats that Magic the Gathering has to offer. Cube is a collection of cards that are intended to draft. It sounds, whenever people talk about cubes and talk about cube drafting and everything like that, it sounds much more complex than it actually is. But with cube, you're going to have a collection of cards, and you're either going to be drafting it, or in some cases you're going to be playing sealed with it. It just really depends on how many cards you have and how many players you can support with the cards that you have selected. But the basic structure of cube is going to be that your cards are going to be in singleton format, so you're only going to have one of each copy of every non-basic land. Basic lands are something that are going to be necessary to have alongside the cube that you have. That way that players can go ahead and just grab some basic lands and throw them into a deck after they've drafted. So singleton format, and you're going to have at least 360 cards in your cube. Now, if you want to have it at exactly 360 cards, you can support a 8-man draft without any leftover cards. So 360 is the exact number of 3 15-card packs for 8 players. So every card that you have in your cube is going to be drafted and is going to be seen by the players. And there's going to be just no leftovers, so it's pretty nice. You get to take out all the cards out of your storage container and then just draft them all along. Now, with cube, it's kind of a combination of both constructed and limited as well. More so constructed for the actual cube builder than anything else, but it's a really good test of deck building because you want to have a good synergy with the cards that you include, and that they work with the different variety of colors that are opposing it. So like blue-white, blue-green, blue-red, all the different combinations like that. You want to make sure that everything just kind of works well together. You also want to assure yourself that no color is more powerful than another, and ultimately that it's just a fun experience, that it's something that is new and fresh every single time you draft it. You don't want it to get like really stale and just have everybody going for like one color or one color combination or something like that. You want it to be a really healthy type of format where people can just draft a variety of different things and it'll work and they'll have fun ultimately drafting it. So it's a really good test of deck building in that, and it's a really good test in limited because of course it's drafting and it's a limited format and it's meant to be for limited formats, but when you're building your cube, you want it to be a collection of really powerful cards and some of the most powerful cards in the game. And you want every single pack to be opened, and you want players to struggle between picks. Like, all right, well, this card's good, and then there's also another good card, but likewise, there are 5 more cards in that pack that could be equally as draftable as the others. So you want players to kind of just pick and choose with cards that they want or that they would think would be good, but ultimately you want a really high power level in every single pack. So with having said all of that and just kind of like that really basic introduction to cube building, now let's take a look at what I have included in my cube. So I'm just going to quickly go over all of the cards that I have in here. I also have the entire cube list down in the description below where you guys can use it as a reference. And I'm also going to have a link to TappedOut.net where I have the entire cube copy and paste it on there, so you guys can actually scroll over the names of the cards and you can take a look at what each one of them does. for instance, if I like go over a card too fast for you to be able to read it, or if you're unfamiliar with any of the cards. So let's start into this. So starting off with white, we have Isamaru, Hound of Konda. We have Loam Lion. We have Mother of Runes, Student of Warfare, Savannah Lions, Steppe Lynx, Micaeus the Lunarch. We have Weathered Wayfarer, White Knight, Eight and a Half Tails, Whipquarter, Knight of Meadowgrain, Wall of Omens, Miran Crusader, Fiendslayer Paladin, Flicker Wisp, Blade Splicer, Sublime Archangel, Hero of Bladehold, Restoration Angel, Emeria Angel, Hokori Dustdrinker. We have Geist Honored Monk, Sarah Angel, Cloudgoat Ranger, Revelark, Sun Titan, Sunblast Angel, Elish Norn Grand Cenobite, Rhea Dawnbringer. And moving on to our non-creature spells, I have it organized so that I have the creatures in ascending mana cost order and then the non-creature spells in ascending mana cost order. We have Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, Condemn, Land Tax. We have Journey to Nowhere, Balance, Lingering Souls, Entreat the Angels, Oblivion Ring, Ghostly Prison, Aura of Silence, Elspeth Knight Errant, Ajani Goldmane, Angelic Destiny, Day of Judgment, Wrath of God, Armageddon, Faith's Fetters, Gideon Jura, and Akroma's Vengeance. So that is white. Let's move on to blue and take a look at our counter magic and support magic more so than anything else. I really like blue because it has a lot of really good support cards or really good splash cards that you can add into just about any color. We have Snapcaster Mage, Magus of the Bazaar, Merfolk Looter, Willbender, Kira, Great Glass Spinner, Vendilion Click, Serendip Efreet. We have Disruptive Pit Mage, Aether Adept, Glen Elendra Archmage, Dungeon Geists, Void Mage Husher, Braids Conjurer Adept, Phyrexian Metamorph, Clone. We have Morphling, Maloku the Clouded Mirror, Teferi Mage of Zalfir, Moldrifter, Aeon Chronicler, Arcanist Omnipotent, Kega the Tidestar, Consecrated Sphinx, Frost Titan, Aetherling, and then moving on to our non-creature spells, Brainstorm, Preordain, Ponder, Mystical Tutor, Mana Leak, Counterspell, Impulse, Boomerang, Brain Freeze, Jace Beleren, Memory Erosion, Rhystic Study, Propaganda, Tinker, Capsize, Vow of Flight, Jace the Mind Sculptor, Cryptic Command, Fact or Fiction, Deep Analysis, Jace Memory Adept, Tamio the Moon Sage, Mind Control, Bribery, and Time Warp. Moving on to green, the color with all the fatties. We have Birds of Paradise, Llanowar Elves, Wild Nacatl. We have Pouncing Jaguar, Tarmogoyf, Fauna Shaman, Kurian Dryad, Scavenging Ooze, Wild Mongrel. We have Albino Troll, Werebear, Omnath Locus of Mana, Witch Stalker. We have Imperious Perfect, which is just in Russian because that was the only copy that I had. Wolfear Avenger, Eternal Witness, Yavimaya Elder, Troll Ascetic, Wolfbriar Elemental, Oracle of Moldiah, Thrun the Last Troll. We have Obstinate Baloth, Keeper of Progenitus, Blastoderm, Wolfear Silverheart, Thragtusk, Ant Queen, Acidic Slime, Primeval Titan, Rampaging Baloths, Vertaloth the Ancient, Avenger of Zendikar, Krosan Tusker, Terastodon, Verdant Force. For a non-creature we have Rancor, Channel, Naturalize, Farseek, Beast Within, Kodama's Reach, Search for Tomorrow, Garruk Wildspeaker, Garruk Relentless, Creeping Corrosion, Garruk Primal Hunter, Rude Awakening, Summoning Trap, Primeval Bounty, and Tooth and Nail. For red, filled with burn spells and all the deal damage type of spells. We have Goblin Guide, Stromkirk Noble, Grim Lavamancer, Curd Ape, Kargon Dragonlord, Blood Knight, Plated Geopede, Stormblood Berserker, Slith Firewalker, Zozu the Punisher, Countryside Crusher, Goblin Rune Blaster, Jaya Ballard Taskmage, Mindsparker, Hellrider, Krenko Mob Boss, because goblins are a format in this cube, Hero of Oxid Ridge, Lava Hounds, Blistering Firecat, Avalanche Riders, Siege Gang Commander, Thundermaw Hellkite, Zealous Conscripts, Kumano Master Yamabushi. You have Kazul Tyrant of the Cliffs, Inferno Titan, Ryusei the Falling Star, Bogarden Hellkite, Akroma Angel of Fury, and Greater Garganon for our creatures. We have Banefire, which this is a card kitty altar for you guys that are going to be asking about it. Earthquake, Devil's Play, Fireball, Bonfire of the Damned, Lightning Bolt, Burst Lightning, Shattering Spree, Mizium Mortars, Incinerate, Searing Spear, Searing Blaze, Ancient Grudge, Goblin Assault, Sulfuric Vortex, Breaking Point, Vow of Lightning, Chandra the Firebrand, because doubling up instants and sorceries is definitely nice in this format, Koth of the Hammer, and Active Aggression. And then for black, we have Vampire Lacerator, we have Gatekeeper of Malakir, Pack Rat, everybody's favorite from Return to Ravnica, Nantoku Shade, Withered Wretch, Nezumi Grave Robber, Black Knight, Phyrexian Negator, Vampire Nighthawk, Royal Assassin, Hypnotic Spectre, Doomed Necromancer, Bone Shredder, Abyssal Persecutor, Ashling the Extinguisher, Skin Render, Yakura the Prisoner, Plague Sliver, Miri the Cursed, Grinning Demon. You have Graveborn Muse, Braids Cabal Minion, Viscera the Dreadful, Chow Chow Lord of Wee, Grave Titan, Skeletal Vampire, Ink Eyes Servant of Oni, Sheoldred the Whispering One, Gristlebrand, Tombstalker. We have Duress, Reanimate, Demonic Tutor, Doomblade, Terror, Go for the Throat, Black Sun Zenith, Hymn to Turok, Animate Dead, Exhume. You have Liliana of the Veil, which is a Steve Argyle altar, full art altar, Dismember, Phyrexian Arena, Recurring Nightmare. You have Necropotence, Damnation, Makeshift Mannequin, Snuff Out, Beacon of Unrest, and Liliana Vess. So those are our base colors. Now we'll take a look at our artifacts, multicolored, and our lands. So for our artifacts, we have Spellskite, Solemn Simulacrum, Masticore, we have Karn Silver Golem, Wormcoil Engine, Sundering Titan, Olamog the Infinite Gyre, Blightsteel Colossus, Mox Diamond, Soul Ring, Mana Vault, Sensei's Divining Top, Skull Clamp, Basilisk Collar, Aether Vial, Lightning Greaves, Swiftfoot Boots, which is just a worse Lightning Greaves, Isochron Scepter, Shrine of Burning Rage, Grim Monolith, Prophetic Prism, Vendalken Shackles, Sword of Light and Shadow, Sword of Fire and Ice. They were the only two that I actually wanted in the cube, as opposed to the rest of them. Basalt Monolith, Coalition Relic, Rings of Brighthearth, Darksteel Ingot, Chromatic Lantern, Oblivion Stone, Nevernull's Disc, Icy Manipulator, Thran Dynamo, Quicksilver Amulet, Mirari, Gilded Lotus, Batterskull, Mindslaver, All Is Dust, and Karn Liberated. So that's our colorless / artifact. For our multicolored cards, we have Deathrite Shaman, Figure of Destiny, Azorius Guild Mage, Putrid Leech, Quasali Pride Mage, Shadow Mage Infiltrator, Kitchen Finks, Geist of Saint Traft, Giora of Agitu, Dauntless Escort, Trigon Predator, Edric Spymaster of Trest, Boros Reckoner, Olivia Voldaren, Morori, I'm going to be butchering a lot of the names of the cards, Bloodbraid Elf, Huntmaster of the Fells, Nemesis of Reason, Nath of the Gilt Leaf, Spiritmonger, Blood Baron of Viscopa, Lightning Helix, Terminate, Dreadbore. We have Maelstrom Pulse, Fires of Yavimaya, Mortify, Putrefy, and Unmake. Unflinching Courage, which is just Armadillo Cloak. Detention Sphere, Sphinx's Revelation, Invoke the Firemind, Ajani Vengeance, Sorin Lord of Innistrad, Sarkon Vol, Vraska the Unseen, Mirari's Wake, Assemble the Legion, and Nicol Bolas Planeswalker. And then our last section here are our lands. So we have 30 lands here, and I actually don't think I mentioned, now that I think of it, of how many of each color that I have. I have 50 cards of each basic color, 40 artifacts / colorless, 40 gold color cards or multicolored cards, and then 30 lands. So for our lands, I have one of each of the shock lands, so Watery Grave, Breeding Pool, Overgrown Tomb, Stomping Ground, Temple Garden, Blood Crypt, Godless Shrine, Sacred Foundry, Steam Vents, Hallowed Fountain, and one of each of the Zen fetch lands. So Scalding Tarn, Verdant Catacombs, Marsh Flats, Misty Rainforest, Arid Mesa. I have one of each of the Vivid lands, so Vivid Grove, Vivid Creek, Vivid Marsh, Vivid Crag, and Vivid Meadow. And then for the rest of the cards, the Rainbow lands and the utility lands, I have Tarnished Citadel, City of Brass, Grand Colosseum, Gemstone Mine, Rupture Spire, Transguild Promenade, Ancient Tomb, Maze of Ith, Academy Ruins, and Strip Mine. So that is the cube that I have. So I hope this video helps you guys understand what the cube format is, what a cube should or could look like, and I hope that it gives you some ideas for building your own cube if you guys want to go out and start cube building and practicing with your cube building skills. It's really one of the most fun formats that Magic the Gathering has to offer. It's really just a fun experience every single time that you go and draft, and even just building the cube itself is a fun experience, being able to go through and pick cards that you want to have in there. But like I said, the entire list of cards that I use is down in the description below. There's also a link to TappedOut.net where I have the interactive list of cards where you can check out and see what each one of them does. And until next time, guys, have yourselves a wonderful, fun-filled Magic the Gathering day.